about sitting out or even supporting somebody who has a history of denigrating you? That's not acceptable.
Is Barack Obama's message to black men the lowest point of his legacy? We're going to discuss right now on Breaking Mediocrity. What's going on? This is D.A. Bourne. Welcome to Breaking Mediocrity. Like, share, and subscribe. Trying to get to 1,000 subs. I appreciate everybody who takes the time to listen. I greatly appreciate it. All right. So the video's gone viral. If you have not seen it, Barack Obama this week was in Pittsburgh and he addressed a message strictly to the black men, to black American men. And I'm not gonna go any further. I probably might cut in between what he had to say, but here's the clip. Here we go.
I'm going to go ahead and just speak some truths, if you don't mind. Because my understanding, based on reports I'm getting from campaigns and communities, is that we have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. Now, I also want to say that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers. So if you don't mind, just for a second, I'm going to speak to y'all directly and say that when you have a choice that is this clear.
All right. I didn't think I was going to stop this early, but okay, I had to stop because he said, okay, let me be, when you have a message that is this clear. First of all, he started the thing. You could tell he's pissed. He's already pissed. He's frustrated. He got reports about the lack of black men that are supporting Kamala Harris. And he's mad. He's mad. Because for him to address black men specifically, obviously he's vexed about how the polls are going. Kamala right now has the least amount of support among black supporters than any recent Democrat people running, including Obama, including Joe Biden. She has the least support. And for him to say the message is, quite clear, it's obviously not quite clear. Inflation's gone through the roof in America. The migrant issue is out of control. And we have someone who wasn't elected running for the for the presidency, who's already been in office for 3.5 years as the vice president, and she's making these proposals. But right now we have current situations that are not getting solved. The answer obviously is not quite clear. So for him right now to address black men, obviously he's heading towards identity politics, which is one of the main reasons why Kamala's getting so many votes, is because of identity politics. But you know what? I'll let him continue with the speech. I'll get back to it. All right.
When on the one hand you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you, understands the struggles and pain and joy that comes from those experiences, who's had to work harder and do more and overcome and achieves the second highest office in the land, and is putting forward concrete proposals to directly address the things that are vital in our neighborhoods and our communities, from housing to making sure that our mothers and our fathers and our grandparents can afford medicine. And making sure that we are dealing with prices that are too high and rents that are too high, and are committed to making sure that we maintain the Affordable Care Act. So everybody's got health care and cares about things like education and entrepreneurship in our neighborhoods. And that's on one side. And on the other side, you have someone who has consistently shown disregard, not just for the communities, but for you as a person. And you're thinking about sitting out, but, you know, because of Pookie might be. And you're coming up with all kinds of reasons and excuses. I've got a problem with that. Because part of it makes me think, and I'm speaking to men directly now, part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president. And you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for that. And so now you're thinking about sitting out or even supporting somebody who has a history of denigrating you because you think that's a sign of strength, because that's what being a man is, putting women down. That's not acceptable. That's not, this shouldn't even be a question.
Okay, I could have stopped in between again I decided to let him cook or let him burn that message. But here, okay, so he dropped a lot of points here. Okay, so he talks about Kamala, whatever. He talks about how she can relate to us, that because she went to the same school as black people, that she can relate to us, that she grew up as us. No, she didn't. She grew up as an Indian woman who wanted to be a part of the black community, and she went to an HBCU. So we have white people that go to HBCU. Does that mean that they're black? No. Can they relate? Maybe, perhaps, yeah. But here's the thing. He goes on about a whole bunch of stuff saying, oh yeah, she's proposing this, she's proposing education, she's proposing stuff that's too expensive. She can change the stuff right now. She can implement that stuff right now to even get more votes. She could do the whole $25,000 for people who want to get their first home. She could do that right now. What's stopping her? All she has to do is to talk to Joe about it, and they can implement it and get it done. They can do this stuff right now. And 25,000, even breaking that down, 25,000 seems like great. It seems, mind you, that is a good amount to have for your first home. Yes, excellent. But $25,000 for a family in Alabama is much different than 25,000 for a family in New York City. 25,000 in Alabama could be a quarter of a payment. In New York, that isn't even 10% of a payment. That isn't even, it's much less. Much less. 25,000 don't do nothing in New York City for a home. Anyway, I don't want to get off topic here. So he's talking about all these stuff that she could implement this stuff now and get more votes. So what makes you think that things are going to get much better when she's elected? All right. And another point he's talking about is some men are hesitant about voting for a woman to run the country. I understand where he's coming from with that. Some men are hesitant to have a woman lead the country. My opinion, though, it's not so much a woman leading the country, because we've had powerful women lead their countries before. Margaret Thatcher was a powerful leader in Great Britain. Powerful. And she had that authority. She spoke and people listened to her. Of course, everybody has her flaws. She's a powerful woman. So this has nothing to do about Kamala being a woman leading the country. It's just that Kamala is not genuine. And black men see that. People are seeing that Kamala is not genuine. Even with the whole race thing, she is not genuine. Barack Obama, you're seeing you obviously know whether Kamala is genuine or not. And you, on the other hand, let's talk about when Joe Biden stepped down and endorsed Kamala for president. You did not come out right away to endorse Kamala as president. You waited like a week or two to do it. And this is my opinion only. This is not facts. I believe you waited because when Joe Biden said he was going to step down, I just got a strong feeling that Barack went to his wife and asked her, "This is the opportunity for you to become president of the United States. Do you want to do it now when the position is open? Honey, I know you, if you ran right now, you could win this election easily against Donald Trump. Do you want to do it?" And I bet you he gave her some time to think. And this is, like I said, it's all opinion. I bet you Michelle said, "No, I don't want to run for president." And that's when he decided to endorse Kamala. We know Kamala is not the charismatic person that you were, Mr. Obama. Not even close. And people see that. And people know that you were in power for 8 years and you did not do a whole lot for the black community. It was great to have representation, but at the same time, you did way more for the alphabet community than you ever did for the black community during your 8-year run. So now you have Kamala who's about to run. Yeah, is running for president. November 5th closing up, and you're berating and talking to black men, specifically disappointed in black men. And I personally, speaking as a black man, I believe this is the low point of your legacy. This is the low point of your legacy. The fact that you have to speak to this particular amount of men and tell them that it's not acceptable. Look, we have the choice to vote for whoever we want. It would have been better for you to say, "I encourage you to vote for Kamala instead of Donald Trump." But no, you're telling us that what we're doing is not acceptable. You who are representing the Democrat Party are telling us to do something that is undemocratic. In other words, you're telling us to do what you want us to do, which is to vote for Harris. And for that, it's manipulative. It is disappointing. And I'm turned off. And I think a lot of black men in America are turned off by how you presented that. And believe it or not, if Trump wins this election, this speech could have been a contribution more to it. Because I bet you there's more black men to saying, "Screw you, Obama. I don't care what you said." The fact that you directed that to me makes me want to not vote for Kamala even more. And I gotta say one more thing. There's some black men out there, they're not voting for Trump because they believe Trump is a better person than Kamala. They're voting for policy. They're voting for, they have convictions with the policies that the Democrat Party has. Some people don't want to be on handouts. Some people they're thinking of family first. And when you think family first, it's not about present, it's about the future. They're thinking about the future for America in terms of what they want their children to grow up in, a society where they're not pressured to make sexual orientation decisions that go against their faith, against what they believe in. There's a lot of things that are in store here. So the fact that you say it's not acceptable for black men not to vote for someone who's portraying to be a black woman, she is a woman of color, but she is not a black woman, it's a low point in your career. That's all I gotta say about that. Drop the comments, like, share, and subscribe to Breaking Mediocrity. I greatly appreciate it. And until then, I'm out. God bless you. Peace.